Hey everyone, welcome to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And good morning to all of you who are watching now, or good afternoon, depending where you're at. And I've got some news to share with you. Now, you can actually look at it as good news or bad news. It's entirely up to you. I see it as, rather sad news, but understandably sad news. So, judging, or as you may have read from the title of this video, you've noticed that it says Robert Downey Jr. talks potentially leaving the MCU. And it's true. And by now, it's obvious why that he should be leaving the MCU. I mean, the guy is getting already old. Like, he's already pushing 50. And plus, he's been playing Iron Man for about 10 years now. So we actually have a quote from Robert Downey Jr. and it says here, and I quote, "It's this cynical thing," Downey says. "I could have said when the first Avengers came out, it's never going to get any better than that. Everybody stop. But to me, it's always about people and opportunities like the Russos, who I adore. Everyone says to me it's like a glove that fits so well. I have to start over every time, but I am starting over with a pretty solid base. I just never want to blow it for like the last 6 or 7 MCU movies. I have done by dropping the ball because I've decided to do it one more time. I just want to hang up my jersey before it's embarrassing." Now, you can take that quote as however you like it, but it seems to me, the way I see it, in my perspective, I think that what he's trying to say is, I guess he doesn't want to do it too much before it starts to get embarrassing. In my perspective, I think that this can become a curse because people can start to see that maybe Robert Downey Jr. is only good for playing Iron Man. Just like when people saw how Christopher Reeve was only good for playing Iron Man, and look what happened with Brandon Routh. I know Brandon Routh is still acting and all, but ever since the movie Superman Returns came out, and that movie did not do really well critically, and I think financially. However, Brandon Routh had a hard time finding a role in movies. Right now, he's currently on DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is awesome, and I haven't finished watching it yet, by the way. I'll get to it. But still, I think that's what he's trying to say here. But at the same time, Robert Downey Jr. is a really well-respected actor who has a lot of range and can play many roles at ease. So as far as this being a curse or anything like that, I don't think that's going to be a problem whatsoever for him, because Robert Downey Jr. is Robert Downey Jr. and he's good at what he does. As you may have figured out by now, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be appearing as Iron Man in other films. So starting with Spider-Man Homecoming, or if you want to count Captain America Civil War, technically, yeah, he already appeared in that one. But he's going to be appearing in Spider-Man Homecoming, obviously, if you've been watching the trailers, as a supporting character. Now, after the fact that the Avengers Infinity War Part 3 and 4 are done, that's going to be the end of Robert Downey Jr.'s contract. So what do you guys think? How are they going to keep having Iron Man appear in the MCU for continuity or for a supporting role? You think they're going to be doing recasting? Or you think they're going to be just casting a double or a stand-in just to show his presence and just to ensure everyone in the audience that he still does exist in the universe? I think personally that they're going to recast him. I'm not going to have a problem with it. It's understandable. I mean, actors age, obviously, so they cannot stay playing a superhero forever, because as far as superheroes goes in the comics, people have that freedom to keep the superheroes at a certain age. The timeline in a comic book is very, very different from a timeline in a comic book film. Time moves on in real time in a movie, whereas time moves on at an extremely slow pace in the comics. If not, it's actually more stretched out than real time itself. Peter Parker has been in his 20s, or he was in high school for like the first 30 issues in Spider-Man comic books, but he's been in his 20s ever since like the 60s. And right now, he's already in his late 20s running a multi-billion-dollar corporation, Parker Industries. So that's an example I'm giving you right there. And then we have the new Spider-Man game coming out for the PS4. He's been confirmed to be 23 years old. And that's also another example to give. As far as like the characters, like the Avengers and all the DC comic characters in comic books, it shows that the characters haven't really aged much. And remember, these characters have been around since like the golden age of comic books. But you can't really transfer that kind of idea to cinema because actors age. And it's understandable why actors are going to get tired of playing the role, or actors are just going to have to move on and look for other work. So in the meantime, I think it's a great idea to either recast Robert Downey Jr. or have a stand-in or even a double. They don't have to say anything in their appearances. It'd be cool to have maybe some dialogue, maybe the actual actors who played Iron Man or Thor or anything like that in the past can come in and do the dialogue while the stand-in or double stands in for them. You don't necessarily have to see their face, maybe you can see the back of their heads or the back of their bodies, but whatever. I mean, that's how it's gonna be. And who knows, and after the third movie with Thor and the Avengers films, because Thor is going to be in the next Avengers films, he can also have a stand-in, or he's going to be recasted. You know, maybe his younger brother can stand in for the role of Thor, because they don't really look much different. That'd be a great idea. And his brother is younger, so. We also have some other news, and forgive me if I'm looking at the screen here, because I have a computer screen right in front of this camera, or right behind this camera. We have some news about the new Batman film and Matt Reeves. So Matt Reeves spoke about the new Batman movie and kind of like the resonance of the new Batman movie. And I like the way he approached it, and because this is something that I've been personally looking forward to seeing in a Batman film. So I have a quote for him. It says, what studios are willing to make at the moment is a very, very narrow band of films. What I discovered is that this genre has the potential to be something more. You can use the metaphors of the genre to talk about a lot. I think that the metaphors of both of the franchises, Batman and Apes, enables you to tell stories that have deep emotional resonance. That's actually what excites me about it. It's interesting because I was obsessed with both as a child, and yet there's something potentially very adult about what you can explore under the cover of that fantasy. That is what draws me to it, and that's what I'm excited about. He also went out to share and said, what I admire in what Nolan does is that despite being a filmmaker in an enormous system, his perspective comes through. That to me was very exciting. It's always exciting when you see a film of his because of that. That's what I feel like I've been trying to do. It's trying to allow a perspective to come through despite that we're in this very large studio movie world. And also we got some more information on how Matt Reeves is handling the film. Matt Reeves hasn't even gotten his hands dirty with work on the new Batman movie starring Ben Affleck, but he's offered plenty of teases for his vision and what fans can expect. So Matt Reeves went on explaining how he's gonna take this Batman film and approach it. Apparently he's been influenced by the Alfred Hitchcock films and how he makes films. So basically Matt Reeves wants to approach this new Batman film and kind of do like an Alfred Hitchcock style Batman noir type movie. And that's very intriguing and fitting for a Batman film. I would love to see a Batman film that's very, not dark, but like it's got a noir aspect to it, because seeing a Batman film like that must be really cool. I mean, just the noir look alone gives you that feeling of you watching a story about a Caped Crusader or a dark hero, and that's gonna be awesome. What I want to see more are detective stories, because if Matt Reeves is talking about filming this movie in a noir style, then that means that we can be potentially getting more detective style stories from the Batman comics on screen. And if you really think about it, every single iteration of Batman on screen hasn't really been able to flesh out the detective quality and aspect of the Batman comics on screen, and that's a real shame because Batman is the world's greatest detective, and we would like to see more of that in the films. And I think with the way Matt Reeves is going to handle this movie, we're definitely going to see a lot more of that, and I'm really looking forward to it. Good job, Matt Reeves. I'm really excited now for the new Batman film. So yeah, that's all the news I have for you as far as, you know, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. just wanting to potentially leave the MCU after the next two Avengers films, and the way Matt Reeves is going to be handling his new Batman film. There's also some more news. We got some new Deadpool 2 set photos featuring the full costume and stuff like that, but anything else I will keep you notified on here on this channel. So if you like this video, hit that like button, follow me on social media, subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next comic panel.